Hi, everybody. Welcome to AP Physics C. Um, Welcome to both students and parents. I just want to give you a quick introduction to the course and introduce myself if you don't already or haven't met me before. My name is Joel Clommer. It's my 16th year at Concordia. I'm super excited to be here. My wife, Jane, teaches high school art, so we both get to work here. It's kind of fun. We have a daughter, Katie. She graduated from Concordia quite a few years ago. Went to undergrad at Concordia University Chicago. Went to medical school at Michigan State and is currently an OBGYN resident at Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. Our son Aaron is going to be a sophomore this year. Super excited he's going to be back here soon. And he loves video games and soccer and maybe baseball this year as well. We'll wait and see. Most of you probably know him better if you're a student here. I'm currently teaching AP Physics 1, AP Physics C, Engineering, Algebra 2, and Applied Marine Research. Originally, I'm from Michigan, but I taught in Chicago for 7 years, then Hong Kong International School for 12 years, and then the last 16 years here at Concordia. I love physics. It's one of my favorite areas. I don't know why I love it so much. I worked at Fermilab, which is the National Accelerator Lab just outside of Chicago for many years, and at CERN, the Large Particle Accelerator in Switzerland and France. I'm currently a Large Hadron Collider Fellow, LHC Fellow, which means I get to go around the world and teach students and teachers about particle physics. And I also get to write the Physics Bowl exam each year, or help write it, which is a global competition between physics students, which is a lot of fun as well. My hobbies include scuba diving, I'm an instructor, ice hockey, which I wish I could play more of, Muay Thai, and boxing. Oops, sorry, got to get to the next slide. Most important things probably are my contact information. You can email me, you can call me if it's an emergency on my cell phone, or send me a text message. Skype, which I don't use very often, we can bring that up now in the Zoom day and age. My WeChat, you can add me if you'd like, or use the QR code to the side there, or my home phone number, but please don't use it late at night. We'll also have a class WeChat group as well, so don't worry, you can always contact me that way, or contact the class and see if anybody else has the same kind of questions. A couple things about AP Physics C. This is not your community college physics course. This is high-level physics. It's really designed for the students who are planning to go into high-level engineering or into the physics field itself. It's equivalent to a first-year physics course at MIT or Caltech. It's not their 100 introductory course, it's their 200 level course. I've always said that this perhaps is one of the most difficult AP courses that College Board offers. Why? It's the only AP course that requires a co-requisite or prerequisite of AP Calculus A, B, or BC. Now, having said that, we're going to make it a co-requisite, but about half the class you'll already have finished it, which will make your life a little bit easier, because you'll need calculus the very first weeks of class. For those of you who are currently taking calculus, don't panic. Our first week or so is a crash course in calculus, which some of you already started on with your summer work, so don't worry about it. We'll catch you up. Yes, you're going to be way ahead in calculus for a little while until your calc course catches up to what we're doing. The other unusual thing about this course is that it actually has 2 separate exams. In some ways, it's almost like AP Economics, where you've got the macro and micro, and you get 2 separate scores for that course. The same thing happens here. You'll take an electricity and magnetism exam and a mechanics exam. Each one of them only lasts an hour and a half, or 90 minutes, so the total for both exams is 3 hours, which is much better than the AP Economics exams, which stretch on forever. So you get 2 separate scores, which is kind of nice, all for one course. In terms of the sequence, sorry, I'm kind of covering that over there. We actually do the electricity and magnetism during first semester, and the mechanics unit during the second semester. And I need to explain that this is not typical. There's only a couple of schools in the world that I think do it, HKIS and ourselves, partly because I forced HKIS to do it that way. I've tried it both ways. Most schools teach mechanics first and then pick up E&M. But the reason we do it backwards is this. The electricity and magnetism section naturally follows the last concepts in electrostatics that we left off with in AP Physics 1. So it builds on what we know. There's also typically more days during first semester. Why? If you think about it, second semester, you're taking the exam already at the beginning of May, or the students are taking it at the beginning of May. So we lose a month, basically, in the second semester. And so mechanics, which they've had before, just without the calculus, it's fairly easy to pick that up. Seniors tend to also be more focused during first semester. Senioritis tends to set in, and luckily mechanics is the easier section, so it's okay if you slide off a little bit in mechanics. You'll still do quite well on the AP exam. As I mentioned before, I've tried it both ways, doing mechanics first and then EMM second semester. Honestly, it results in higher scores on both sections by reversing the order. It seems strange. You would think, well, wouldn't it just improve one or the other? It really does improve both, which is why we do it sort of backwards. Moving on, here are the actual units. And you're like, wait, this course is super simple. The depth that this goes in, and part of the reason is I love this course, is it doesn't do a lot of units, but the units it does, it goes very, very deeply and covers it completely. So we're doing all of this with calculus. Here's our first unit, electrostatics, which includes Gauss's law and a few other pieces. Conductors, capacitors, and dielectrics. So you're going to be working with capacitance and potential. Electric circuits, that's probably the easier part. But you'll end up with resistor capacitor circuits and inductor resistor circuits, which involve integral calculus because you get some exponential decays and exponential increases. Magnetic fields, we get to do Ampere's law and a few other pieces. Electrodynamics is where we do all the electromagnetic induction pieces, along with moving into some modern physics. So it's pretty intense. And then the mechanics section, kinematics, Newton's laws, work, energy, and power, systems of particles and linear momentum, rotation, oscillations, and gravitation. Those should sound vaguely familiar. They're the exact same topics you covered in AP Physics 1, but now we're going to go back into them, go a little bit deeper with calculus. And you can sort of say, okay, yeah, this makes sense that we actually do this second semester mechanics because, yeah, it is actually review, just going a little bit deeper than what we've been. The textbook looks like this. It's Halliday and Resnick's Fundamentals of Physics. We're using the 7th edition. It's actually gone beyond that. For some of you parents, this may be, depending on if you took an upper level physics course in university, this could be the same textbook you used. It's been around forever, honestly. The other part is we'll use some video complements. Mechanical Universe, put out by Caltech. Has some marvelous things, electrostatics and mechanics, using calculus. And the MIT lectures by Professor Walter Lewin. He also, their introduction, as I mentioned before, their introductory course parallels ours. And so his lectures fit perfectly with the units that we're covering. You're like, wait, MIT? Wait, what am I signing up for? The assignment sheets will be posted both on the Science server and, of course, on Canvas. It might be faster for students and parents just to go on the HTML server. You can use this QR code right here if you want. It will always take you to the current assignment sheet. On the assignment sheet, for those of you who were in the course before, you'll see the topics we're covering that day, the readings, and then the assignments for that night. Notice that you'll see quite a few hyperlinks on here, so you don't need to carry your textbook back and forth. You can just keep the textbook at home. So parents, if you don't see it that often, just check your son or daughter's room. It's probably in there, so don't worry. In addition, of course, it'll be directly on Canvas. On Canvas, here's the link, and as parents, you should be able to access it. So we'll be doing, you'll see AP Physics C1 and AP Physics C2. C2 will be the mechanics section of the course. Right now we're in this one. And you'll find all this material here, Course Welcome, where you're probably watching this. And on it, you'll find daily plans, which will take you to the current assignment sheet. So fairly easy to keep track of what's happening. Here's an example of an in-class problem. This is using Gauss's law, and you can sort of see, and some of you have done this before, you're like, oh wait, yeah, I remember that equation, and you might be able to solve it, but you'll see that a lot of it is conceptual. But also in AP Physics C, you'll end up with quite a few mathematical problems as well. And of course, a lot of calculus. Here's the formula sheet just for but more for the benefit of the students, but also for parents. You can sort of see, it kind of gives you an idea for what we're covering. Here it is in mechanics, and then here it is in electricity and magnetism. A lot of these formulas will look familiar to you, and I don't have the entire sheet on here. It goes on a little bit further, but you'll notice, oh yeah, okay, this is not too bad, and it does involve some calculus here and there. The actual exam consists of, as I mentioned before, 2 separate 90-minute exams. Those 90-minute exams are broken into 35 multiple choice questions, that's half of it, and 3 free response questions, that's half of it. And they're both weighted equally, they count for 50% each of the final student's score on that particular exam. Here's an example of a multiple choice question from electricity and magnetism, just to kind of give you a feel for it. And yes, it does involve calculus. You actually have to take the derivative of this to be able to answer the question, but it turns out it's fairly easy calculus. And if you solve it and plug in the numbers, you'll discover, oh, okay, the answer is A. I also want to give you an example, though, of one particular section of a free response question. So here's a circuit one, also from electricity and magnetism. And notice here it says, using integral calculus, derive an expression for the charge of the capacitor as a function of time after the switch is opened. And so you might say, whoa, 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 what's going on here? This one's actually not too horrible, but the answer looks something like this. This one's actually a fairly simple one. You might say, wait, integral calculus? Yeah, in this case, you just have to set it up. Finally, I just want to give you, for the parents who can't come here or haven't been before, this is H529, where we'll actually be holding the course. It has a nice view out the window of downtown Shanghai. And if you haven't been in here before, it is loaded with physics equipment, because physics is one of those courses where you do a lot of hands-on work. It's kind of a fun one. There's the front of the room. You can sort of see a teaching desk, and then the students sitting around here in the tables there, and all the equipment on the other side of the room. And then finally, the really nice view from the back again, where you can see out the entire back wall of the classroom is just windows that overlook green villas and then downtown Shanghai. And we got a nice view. There's downtown again. But yeah, it's kind of a nice view. AP Physics C is oftentimes considered to be the most difficult course that a student can take here at Concordia. But honestly, we score remarkably well. Even though it is a difficult course, our students tend to nail this one. But if ever you have questions as a parent or as a student, please feel free to contact me, either see me at school or email me or WeChat me anytime. Thanks again for watching the video and listening in. I look forward to seeing many of you soon. Thanks again. Bye.